Hello! Before I start my next build, which is this 109, I've got to tidy up a bit. So this is a bit of a montage and a little bit of me talking just to say what's going off. One of my succulents, needs a bit of sun. Got a magic duster, would like those. Circle template. This is the washed sprues of the 109. It seems to be a simple build, a level 1 kit. It's the Airfix 109 G6. My first G class 109 actually. Steel ruler, always have a steel ruler, so got my ruler, got my circle template. This is the shape of my work area roughly. This is a spray for the plant. I put that there. Always try and put things back. That's my key little takeaway for you all. These caps they're used for mixing up paints with the airbrush. I've got some spare airbrush needles that are new. They can go over there. I actually have a clock so I can see what time it is. So magic duster time. It's just magic dust at the back there. Brush forward. These are cotton buds. There's baby bio for the plants. This is PVA, so I've just got decorators PVA, and I'll come to some PVA tips for you in a moment. That's a USB thing. These are spare computer parts. There's my microsol and microset. That's a thingy bob. There's some wood glue, some other PVA white glue, Aquamix. Oh, I didn't want to do that, did I? So cocktail sticks, kind of find these essential. They're that essential tool, especially when airbrushing. You can just sort of blue tack them into something, or even glue the item to the stick and then work on it in almost 360 degrees of freedom in all 4 axes. There's the thing. This is isopropyl that I use for cleaning. So I have cleaning and mixer, they're all different things. This is aquacolor, that's aquacolor. Ironically, that's aquacolor. So I've got 2 mixers that I could put back over there because I've got one out and live. These are my tapes. Bits and bobs. I'm trying to use up some of these Humbrol cements that come with starter kits. Knife. I actually use 2 knives, so I've got a standard Stanley knife which is used for different things, and a blade is used great for scraping off certain items. And as you probably saw, I've got a scalpel and a saw too. So the saw is one of these. I do hope this is coming out on the camera okay for you. These are the palettes I use, and I'll talk about those in a moment. Let me just finish decorating up, tidying up. It's a pipette. Jars. I love jars, and make sure I've got an obviously dirty jar, a clean reservoir jar, and I've now got a sealed top jar with a nice airtight lid. This is just it was from Aldi hot dogs. Pretty good, and the use of it is you can put white spirits in it and dilute things down that are going to smell and keep them absolutely airtight out of the room. So really useful. The rest is just for acrylics. Little post-its, great for making masks. So I use little post-its for masks. Not least because they hold themselves to the surface while you work. That's actually binnable now. Actually just pop them down. These are just some of the general bits of bric-a-brac I leave within reach. So nail file, couple of prongs in a piece. This is my dry brushing piece. Another little ruler and set. It's a very fine 1200 grit sandpaper piece. It's not quite dead. I think that is dead. That can go in the bin. These are my tops for decals. It's got a bit dusty. So what I do is I have warm water in a jar in a reservoir that keeps itself roughly warm. Pour in here the exact amount and work on 1 decal at a time. I don't do the whole sheet ever. That's now done. It can go in there. wash bin. We can see now just the amount of bits and bobs. And I can see the dust where there's been tools in the way. Actually quite useful to have this. This is my, obviously my magnifying light stand and the airbrush. And then the last thing for the airbrush is just to get some of the dust out the way. The airbrush isn't turned on right now. So with that out of the way, what I'm going to show you is a tip for cleaning your pallets. These are well-used pallets, as you can see. You can probably tell there's something on the surface. Well, that is PVA glue, just standard PVA that I put on several days ago. And the great thing about using acrylics is that they come off when you peel the PVA off. As long as I don't break, I've actually cracked it, but whatever. So if I see, it's coming straight off with the PVA, look. See? And there's no way this would wash off as easily at all. There we go. So I can just peel the old dead acrylic straight out of the palette. It's really, really easy to do. It's very cheap. It's a hands-off job. That one quite hasn't got it. That wasn't actually PVA in there. As you can see, I've got my finger through it. There's no PVA in there. I need to perhaps do that cup again. But this one, a bit of the same. It hasn't pulled the paint off, but the thin stuff is coming off absolutely perfectly fine. Look at this grey's come off. Yeah, the grey's all come off. Look, it's coming up almost like new plastic where it is coming up, and it's just so much easier to clean your palette like this. It's one of the easiest things to do. It's actually really kind of rewarding as well. If you've ever spread PVA on your hand, see, and then just sort of piddled it off, this works treat like exactly the same way. I didn't get the edge of there. I didn't actually catch the edge of those with PVA. It's a bit of a shame. But these are all mixes from different older times, older paints, and when the paint gets too stale, you can't reactivate it. Oh, breaking. I think these palettes, they're very old. I think they're getting a bit UV brittle because this room's got quite a bright window, quite warm. But yeah, I mean, 90%, if not a bit more, 90% of the paint has come off. Actually, this actually has got PVA on it. It should come off. Oh, I've just broke it. So it's getting really brittle. They're like crumbling. That's interesting. They're properly crumbling. These are just cheap pallets, but I didn't know they'd go this brittle. That's amazing. They're only a couple of years old, if that. No, maybe 4 years old. I do tell a lie. They're maybe 4 years old. They've been sat on various desks when I've used them, but I didn't know they were this brittle. They used to be a little bit more plastic, a little bit more brittle. I don't think that's anything to do with the PVA. I'm just amazed that they're that, you know, they're just falling apart. That is classic brittle plastic PVA. Sorry, not PVA, UV degradation in some way, I think, or oxidization. I don't want to break anymore, but yeah, it's not sharp. It's fine. That's maybe a little bit sharp. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's my top tip. That's me tidying up. 109 G6 next. These are the paintbrush, sorry, the airbrush cleaning things. I need to put a few hooks up that I can hang them on because they've all got a nice hook to them. See you all soon. I hope to be making a modelling video soon. I've been making lots of animal videos. I've been making a couple of tech videos. I have another tech video in the pipeline for anybody interested in setting up and using dot and GraphViz. So yeah, see you all soon. And I'm going to really awkwardly pick this up and just show you how we've got. So I've got this is my magnifier That's my regulator behind there with the compressor. This is just a board I put up when I'm spraying to spray against, and there's obviously a window directly there. Then I have sort of in order my knife, mixer, glue, airbrush cleaner, tape, all the brushes in the corner, and there's several different things and bits and bobs. That's actually an electric pencil sharpener as well, so I can get the soft B pencils and just get a straight sharp edge on them. So more brushes, pipettes, knives, saws, sprue cutters, and then dry wipe. All my paints are in there. This does shut, of course. It's on a little lean forward laptop stand, a wooden laptop stand. Paint tops and lids are for mixing up and then pouring into the airbrush. This is my constant mixed up, ready to go matte clear varnish, and I've got more mixers, 3 jars, more pieces and pieces, a clock so I can time certain jobs. That's for the dog's ears. And then I've got decal items over this side, so some mask stuff, decal items and general things. And obviously these have come up quite well, though I'm so surprised at how brittle they are. That's unbelievable. As for my worktop, the walnut is working out really well for me. If you've not seen my desk build and building the office, it's great. I've actually got, despite the mess and other airfix bits, I've got floating units up, and I have floating units up there. So I've got the cutting mat, and then directly above me in reach I've got airbrush box, airbrush cleaner, matte white, some other bits and pieces, isopropyl in easy reach, all sorts of stuff that's just I can just grab if I don't want it, and these just pull out and go back in if I need them to. Then there's some notebooks and other model builds. So there's King George V at the top, Rodney here, Spitfire, the Nat, the Harrier, the 110. I've got the Mustang there. There's actually a 109. There's a 109 there with a Spitfire. So 109 and Spitfire. And there's another 109 up there as well. So there you go. That's my little desk tour and update. There'll be something more interesting later. Let's go and find out why the dog's barking. Bye bye.